Hi, everyone. I'm Katie from Cloud Adoption Solutions. Today, I want to talk to you about something that most Salesforce teams eventually encounter: technical debt, and how a quick review of Apex triggers and architecture can reveal hidden risks in a Salesforce environment. We call it the hidden cost of bad code. One of the most common things we hear when starting conversations with organizations is this: we think we might have technical debt, but we're not sure. And honestly, that's completely normal. Salesforce environments evolve over time. New features are added, new developers join projects, and business requirements change. So it's very common for companies to suspect technical debt, but not yet know exactly where it exists. Salesforce environments rarely stay static. Over time, organizations experience new users, new developers, legacy code, legacy functionality. Each change makes sense at the time. But as the platform grows, those layers of customization can gradually make the system more complex. Technical debt usually isn't obvious right away. On the surface, the system appears to work perfectly. But over time, organizations may begin noticing things like slower deployments, random bugs, governor limit errors, features that take weeks to build instead of hours. These are often early signals that architectural complexity may be building underneath the surface. So, when reviewing a Salesforce environment, sometimes the easiest place to start is very simple. Open one object. Then take a look at three areas: triggers, SOCL inside loops, and visual force pages. The first place we often look is apex triggers. A common warning sign is when an object contains multiple triggers written at different times. Modern Salesforce architecture generally recommends consolidating logic into one trigger per object with structured handler classes. When many triggers exist, it often means the system has evolved organically over time. In order to show this, mine all did happen at the same time. But you don't want that either. When multiple triggers run on the same object, problems can begin to appear. You may see unpredictable order of execution, triggers firing on other triggers, recursion, governor limit issues, deployment failures. At that point, debugging becomes very difficult because multiple pieces of automation are interacting at once. And sometimes no one is completely sure which trigger runs first. When triggers begin interacting with one another, even small changes can become risky. Developers sometimes describe these situations as a Jenga tower. Every change affects the stability of the system, and that's when deployments start feeling unpredictable. Another common signal of technical debt is SOCL queries inside loops. Code like this might work perfectly when processing a small number of records, like maybe 10, but as data volume increases, the pattern can quickly hit Salesforce governor limits. So something that worked with 10 records might fail when the system processes thousands. As data volume grows, inefficient queries can cause issues like CPU time limits, SOCL limits being exceeded, records failing to save, and user-facing errors. These problems usually don't appear during early development. They appear later as the organization grows. We don't want to see this. Another area we sometimes see technical debt is legacy visual force pages. Visual Force is still supported, and many organizations rely on it successfully. But large legacy Visual Force implementations can become difficult to maintain, incompatible with newer UI patterns, tightly coupled with older Apex logic. Over time, this can make even small enhancements more difficult. Eventually, technical debt can create what many teams experience as a scalability wall. Teams may start noticing slower deployments, unstable releases, reduced development speed. The system still works, but it becomes harder to extend. And something interesting happens at this point. Most organizations don't discover technical debt during development. They discover it when they try to grow. When the platform suddenly needs to support more users, more automation, or more complex processes. That's when hidden architectural issues tend to surface. But don't worry, there is good news too. The good news is that most technical debt is fixable. with improvements like trigger consolidation, bulkification of Apex logic, modern lightning architecture, stronger governance practices. Salesforce environments can often be simplified and stabilized significantly. This is where a Salesforce technical audit becomes valuable. A structured review typically evaluates areas like Apex architecture, automation design, data volume readiness, and legacy components. The goal is to identify architectural risks and create a roadmap for improvement. At Cloud Adoption Solutions, this is the type of work we help organizations with. We partner with teams to identify hidden technical debt, modernize legacy architecture, improve system performance, and create scalable Salesforce environments, among other things. Because the goal isn't just fixing code. The real goal is helping Salesforce become a reliable foundation for growth, a platform that can support the organization as it scales without slowing down development or increasing operational risk. We want the best for you. Thanks for taking the time to learn about tech debt and how it can be remediated. Hopefully, this gave you a few ideas to think about in your own Salesforce environment. And if you ever suspect your system may be experiencing some of these challenges, a technical review can often provide valuable clarity. And at Cloud Adoption Solutions, we are here to help you succeed with Salesforce. Thanks again. See you in the next one.